Now, Nigeria's army says it's rescued nearly 300 women and girls during an operation against Boko Haram. And this took place in the group's stronghold in the Sambisa forest. It says it does not know yet if these girls were those kidnapped from Chibok last year. That abduction sparked an international campaign to bring them back. Let's get more now from Yvonne Ndege in the Nigerian capital, Abuja. So, Yvonne, hours later, still not clear yet who these girls and women are.
Well, that's right, Shax. In the last hour or so, Nigeria's military spokesperson did appear live on Al Jazeera on the telephone, taking questions about the identity of these hundreds who have been rescued in Sambisa. And when asked by one of our presenters whether there was a possibility that one of them could be the Chibok girls, or some of them could be the Chibok girls, excuse me, who were kidnapped last year, he said he couldn't rule that out because there's an ongoing screening and profiling process taking place to try and identify who these individuals are, where they came from. When we spoke to the military spokesperson earlier on the telephone before he appeared on Al Jazeera, he alluded to the possibility, and this is what the military are thinking, that some of those rescued could potentially be the wives and children of Boko Haram fighters who have been living in Sambisa forest for an unknown period of time. He didn't want to be categoric about their identities because, as I say, what the military is saying is that there's an ongoing screening process and that they are intending to release photographs and more details about who these individuals are, and that's what we're waiting for.
Yeah, Yvonne, lots of questions. Boko Haram has kidnapped several thousand women and girls over the years, hasn't it?
Well, that's right. Kidnapping has been the hallmark of some of the worst atrocities the group have been committing over this 6-year-long insurgency. And initially, when this news broke earlier this evening, there was a lot of hope that this could be the recovery and discovery of those Chibok girls. But as I was pointing out in my earlier reporting, kidnapping has been prevalent, and it's believed that hundreds of women, girls and boys have been taken captive by Boko Haram over the last few years. But the personal stories of these individuals, how they came to be there, whether they're relatives, wives, children of Boko Haram fighters, is yet to be substantiated. Having said all of that, this, even though there's a slight disappointment, for want of a better word, that these are not the Chibok girls, this discovery of these 293 individuals is a huge moral boost for the Nigerian army and the government ultimately, who have been fighting Boko Haram in Sambisa. It's considered to be the last stronghold of the group. It's believed that there are camps controlled by Boko Haram still within this area, and this rescue of these individuals is a sign perhaps for many that the group is about to be eliminated.
Okay, Yvonne, thank you very much. Yvonne Ndege live for us from the Nigerian capital. Well, the girls and women are said to have been rescued from the Sambisa forest in Nigeria's northeast. As Yvonne was telling us, the forest is a Boko Haram stronghold. In recent weeks, the Nigerian military has focused its offensive on this area. It's been joined by a coalition involving its neighbors, Niger and Chad, whose borders converge with Nigeria near Lake Chad. The regional force has been trying to recapture towns from Boko Haram's control in the remote northeast. One such town is Damasak in Borno State. These are the first pictures of an operation after troops regained control of Damasak last month. The joint military force hopes to loosen Boko Haram's grip on the region. It's estimated that the group has killed more than 14,000 people in the past 6 years. Manji Cheto is the Vice President of Teneo Intelligence, a risk consultancy and advisory firm. She says this rescue will give many Nigerians hope of finding the Chibok girls.
It's a reflection of what has been going on in the last 6 years. A lot of confusing information coming from the military. In a way, I think even though it's not the girls, for Nigeria, this is quite a significant moment. It certainly raises hope of the possibility of these girls being found. I think the latest figures that we have as far as the number of people that have been kidnapped is about 2,000. Of that, we don't know the exact number of girls and women. We do know, however, that a lot of the boys that have been kidnapped have actually been taken up as child soldiers. So, it leaves us a question of kind of looking at about 1,000 or at least high hundreds of women that have been kidnapped. We're looking at Sambisa Forest is incredibly large, and as far as we know, the latest statements from the military is that they've captured 4 camps within Sambisa Forest. Presumably, there are other Boko Haram camps that will also be raided. And so I think for a lot of people, this hopefully should give them a reason for optimism. But at the same time, I mean, you can probably imagine it's a difficult time for the parents and the relatives of the girls who have all been captured.